Hey everybody. Hello. If you're wondering why everybody's just laughing, it's stuff you'll probably see in the behind the scenes photo stuff later.
Yeah,
So I'm Jared from Ninja Mafia Entertainment.
Translate the fart stink from you into a photo.
Shut up. There is no fart stink.
Jared, calm down. It's okay.
With me again today is once again my best friend in the whole wide room from Biro, Sean.
Which, by the way, thanks for misspelling my channel. That worked out really good.
I didn't misspell it.
Yeah, you did. Borrow isn't spelled with an A, ass.
I didn't put it with an I.
Yes,
A
you
for
did.
ass.
And today we have some other people with us.
Wow.
Introduce yourself.
Way to crap.
My name's Trudy from Channel Slash You.
And I am Zen Zenith or Christina.
Okay. So, Ghostbusters.
2016, baby.
Oh my god.
Okay, quick question before we get into this. Do we want to do like a rehash of the very first movie?
I thought that's we were just going to incorporate it all.
Okay.
We just want to shoot
Okay.
one.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about this any more than we have to.
Exactly.
All right, so Ghostbusters #1, arguably one of the most influential and greatest movies ever made of the 20th century.
Definitely.
About three college professors who essentially get fired from their job because they're putting a drain on the university's budget for legitimate reasons because they can't turn in any viable evidence of their studies. And one guy who answered a help wanted ad in New York being exterminators for the paranormal.
Yep.
It's very simple, very succinct, and is absolutely one of my favorite movies of all time. With Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson. And if you haven't watched it, I don't know what you've done with your life. You
Go watch
clearly,
it.
yeah, go watch Ghostbusters.
If you haven't seen it, you need to
Number
watch
one
it.
from the 1980s.
It's very important to watch this movie.
It is, not just for the fact that it's a good movie, it's very important in how it's written, how it's made, and how everything translates into what it translates into cinema, and how it adds to the overall experience.
And it's definitely a lot better than what we got today.
Yes. That being said, Ghostbusters 2016! And it's not just two dudes being chauvinistic, because we got some chicks here. Oh God, can I say chicks still?
Yeah, you
That's
can
wild.
say chicks.
I can say, okay. We got two chicks here. Boy, I'm really glad I didn't go with my first inclination of saying horse. That would have been awkward.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's me.
Nice.
I know, that's why I didn't say it.
But you did.
Oh, damn it! Why
Okay.
didn't somebody tell me the
So-
importance of video?
I guess let's go around and the good, like what we liked, what we didn't like. I'm gonna start with you
Are you
because,
gonna start with me? Okay.
dude, like I got from you what you got from me during Independence Day. This movie hurt you. Like I could tell, like you liked a few things, but
There were
hurt
some.
you. So go
There
ahead.
were very few things that I liked about this movie. It was nice to see like the proto versions of where some of their technology came from.
Yeah, I
like,
did like that.
the proton pack and the PKE meter. I liked it being very not finished and rugged looking.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I didn't like that they didn't try and translate that into its further version, and it just stayed the same little dime store thing that had little steely boppers that spun
Yeah.
And lit up too.
and lit up. Yeah, it's like, wow, I saw these at like Dollar General 3 years ago.
Or the Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree now. I like that. I liked the idea of them getting a hearse as Ecto One.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of fun. I liked that idea a whole bunch. The proton pack special effects look good.
Yeah.
Those looked very akin to what they initially looked like. Kind of hard pressed to come up with something else here. Do you want to go into what you liked, and then we'll go through and say what we didn't like?
I liked the general, what was underneath, like you were saying earlier, like the whole ley lines thing. That was a good idea.
Right.
But
Oh,
Like-
and there's an instrumental remix of the original Ghostbusters theme.
That was very
sounds-
nice.
That sounds a lot of fun, and I'd like to hear that without Fall Out Boy's stupid vocals. Sorry, continuing to you. Yeah, I like the idea of the ley lines. I thought that was a really creative and interesting idea to incorporate some type of a mystic thing to it.
Yeah.
Which I think could have been carried over a lot stronger into a mysticism versus science battle that they kind of set up but never really paid off.
Yeah.
Which you'll hear that phrase a lot during this review.
Yeah.
But I wasn't hurt by this movie because I had seen Ghostbusters 2, which, for those of you out there, the phrase, I believe, if Gavin Free didn't make it, he definitely made it more popular. There's the saying that Taken 2 makes Taken 1 look bad, simply by being related to it. Ghostbusters 2 makes Ghostbusters the original look bad by being related to it. So this movie didn't destroy anything for me. It didn't detract from Ghostbusters 1 being strictly one of the best movies I've ever watched in my life. It did disappoint me that they didn't try and do enough original stuff.
Yeah.
And that they didn't try and tell their own kind of story.
Yeah. Ladies, you guys got anything?
I mean, I really like the fact that they had different tools in it. Like, they had more than just the proton packs. They had like the little grenade thing that actually made the powder.
I'm
Hey,
gonna,
this is what they like.
this is what
We
you
can-
like,
yeah.
and we'll probably have a back and forth about
Okay,
that.
anything? Anything else?
I mean, that was basically the only thing I liked besides what you guys already said, the early prototypes of the packs and the fact that they did something different with it, but pretty much it was a big stink bomb to me.
Christina?
There were only 2 points of this movie that I actually enjoyed,
Okay.
which is really sad because I had, I guess, higher expectations for it than I guess I should have, just because of the way that I used to love the first one. But the only things that I really liked about this one was, like, literally near the end of the movie, I liked the weapon that one chick used, because honestly she was like my favorite character out of the entire thing, because she was so random, she was funny. I mean, she actually made it a little bit more watchable for me than what it was. I don't know.
Well,
how
which
you
one?
guys
Which
feel
Comic
one
about
are
it.
you talking about? Are you talking
The
about
double gun.
The double guns. I'm
Okay.
talking about the chick,
That was-
the crazy chick.
That was my next
And-
point I was going to bring up.
Okay. All right, so we got what we liked. Dude, I feel that you're about to go on for like 20 minutes.
I don't know if I'm going to do that long. I'm going to try and keep it.
I
to
know.
15.
I want to get them what they didn't like first. I'm
Okay.
gonna save you for
Okay.
that.
Okay. So we'll do a sweep backwards.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much. So
Okay.
negatives. Go.
The negatives about the movie were just, I think that it could have done a lot more for itself than what it did. There were some things that they could have touched on that they just didn't. And then, in all complete honesty, from what I was told and what I saw, it basically rushed into a lot of it
We're doing spoilers,
without.
Yeah.
right? Yeah, go ahead and spoil
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah,
Without
spoilers.
Yeah,
explaining-
spoilers, by the way.
Forced
All that.
comedy.
Yeah, we didn't exactly like this movie. There's your review.
Well,
If you want anything else, spoilers from here on out.
yeah.
Like, I mean,
So-
and as cool as the weapons were, a lot of the effects and shit that went with the movie were just pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys,
Yeah.
but for a movie that came out in 2016, I honestly expected a little bit more from it. I
Than
guess that was
Scooby-Doo
just me, but
Yeah.
yeah, literally, the
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo characters looked better.
The ghost looked like
Then-
Scooby Doo villains. It was
Yeah.
not good.
It was horrible.
Dude, the giant ghost at the end looked like Oogie Boogie from
I-
Nightmare.
That's
that was
what I was
exactly what I was
thinking.
thinking.
Dude, he looked just
That
like
was
him, man.
exactly what I said. It's very interesting that you bring that up because I do video game reviews and I'm thinking about just dropping the graphics portion where I talk about them because it's 2016. Every game has great graphics now, but as far as movies concerned, it's 2016 and everything.
They're
still
trying
looks
to make a new game for
real
it
fakey
too.
fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a top-down shooter.
All right, Trudy,
But
what are
we're
your
gonna-
biggest negatives?
The forced comedy was one of the biggest things. Like,
Yeah.
they forced way too much comedy, and it's like, some of the points were a little funny, but they gave you like a light chuckle. It wasn't a chuckle that.
There were people in the theater
I was about to
laughing,
say
and I was
those-
like, "That was not funny."
The two dudes
Exactly.
behind us were
Like
laughing
they
their
thought it
asses
was
off.
hilarious.
They thought it was
Which-
amazing, but I was
No.
like, there's no
I-
reason.
Again, like Independence Day, I was just looking at you, it's like, wow, if this were any other movie, you would
I-
have laughed your butt off.
I like.
Dude,
I didn't like the fact that they
I've been
brought
hanging out with you too
the
long.
marshmallow guy back, and he was like, instead of an actual ghost, he was just a float.
didn't
Yeah,
like
it's-
that
it's
at
I
all.
hated that. And then they just killed him
That doesn't make any
with a
sense.
freaking Swift Army knife. How?
Yeah, that was set
No,
up
that didn't make sense.
like 10 minutes before that.
And he was the only one that the balloon fragments actually stayed, and the rest
Yeah,
of the balloons,
everybody
when
else
they killed
just
them,
disappeared.
they disappeared. I'm like, that
Yeah.
doesn't make like some of the points in the movie did not make sense to me.
Well, you have to remember, you have to suspend disbelief because you're talking about 4 people in New York fighting spectral entities.
Yeah.
So you have to have that essence of the suspension of disbelief. But yeah, I understand exactly what you're talking about.
Or like
that.
the time she went into the bathroom, and she could have very well got her gear. She knew something else was in there with her.
Right.
Yeah, and she goes and locks the door from a ghost. Like she knew that ghost was gonna get through,
Yeah.
and yet,
Then you have the problem that it's the smart person doing a stupid thing in a horror movie, and it's like, you know better, why did you do this? Oh, you
Yeah,
did it because
very
the
much
script
so.
needed you to.
and like I think I'm gonna jump into my
Yeah,
biggest
you
thing.
go ahead.
Yeah.
So, like this movie had so much potential. Like we said,
Yeah.
Under the Pile of Shit was a decent story.
No, there was really something to this.
Like-
it could have been good.
Well, also, I don't think I like the fact they could have done so much more with this. They could have done a new generation of Ghostbusters
Right.
instead of complete reboot because most of the original actors are still alive and made cameos.
Right.
But-
Which I will talk about in a second.
Well,
because
there was the Ghostbusters cartoon that like
Yeah, the
after
real
the first
Ghostbusters.
the real Ghostbusters, but
Yeah.
in like '96 they had one that was a spinoff. It was the professor was still there and he recruited a new group to be Ghostbusters.
wasn't that like the Extreme Ghostbusters
Yeah.
or something? Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I never watched that.
it's on Hulu right now.
Is it?
Yeah. But it was like a continuation. They could have done that, or if you're gonna reboot a franchise, like I feel reboots nowadays are trying to force something else down our throats. It's
Yeah.
like,
Right.
okay, like this one was 4 women. Okay, we have women Ghostbusters. Like women are a big deal now. I get it, but why? Like why were they there? Like they were unnecessarily like making a point that they were women.
Right.
And
well,
like,
I don't.
like they
There's parts of the movie that have that, and it's like, oh yeah, you're girls. Girl
like
power.
they kept telling like queef jokes and stuff. And
Yeah,
it
I was honestly amazed it took us 10 minutes to get to the first fart joke, which turned into a queef joke.
Yeah, and it just
Because you came in right about that time.
yeah, that's when we.
That was your first introduction to the movie. It was a fart joke.
It was just man, I didn't like. I think there could have been so much more. Like it had the potential to be good.
I
And
like Kevin.
I didn't like
He was
Hemsworth being a
annoying.
dumbass. Like I think I liked him better when he was possessed.
Right.
Then-
Well, that's
he
what I'm
actually
saying. I liked
did
it better when
stuff
he was
then.
possessed.
But like
Yeah,
I mean,
Chris Hemsworth gets possessed, by the way.
there was no point in making like their receptionist in the original Ghostbusters wasn't dumb.
Right.
Like she just was kind of very skeptic
Right.
until like the shit started happening.
Right.
So
Um,
like he was just a dumbass,
I think what they were.
and I didn't like that.
I think one of the biggest problems that relates into yours is they tried to be different for the sake of being different, not for the sake of actually doing something.
Yeah, and they didn't really pay
And
homage to
it-
the originals that much.
No.
Like they tried, oh, we're doing Slimer, oh, marshmallow, the puff marshmallow guy, but it didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I definitely think this movie would have been
There.
a lot stronger if they left out virtually everything to the original Ghostbusters. There was one shot that I really liked, which, if this were a clever movie, would have been a direct sequel to Ghostbusters, which is everything's kind of died down, everything's kind of laid low.
Yeah.
And now you've got this new generation who's rediscovering this technology that
Exactly.
nobody else knew how to work because it was three crackpots and an average working Joe. And after they were no longer needed, they just kind of went their separate way.
Yeah.
Which would answer a lot of the different things in this movie.
Yeah.
And it would have given great opportunities for the cameos to actually make sense rather than just having to be cameos. But there's the scene where they go looking for their new base of operations because they got kicked out of college, and they come across the firehouse from
Yeah.
the first Ghostbusters movie. And they're wandering around, they're like, oh, this is so cool, this is so fun. It's like, yeah, let's just run through this, they're gonna get the building or whatever. And
Then they tell her to, like, no,
Yeah, it's-
like, too much, F off.
yeah, no, it's like, what was it, 20,000 a month?
21,000.
21,000 a month. And it was just like, get the hell out. And it's like, okay, that would have actually been a very clever joke because you would have that gap of monetary values between these two time periods and how things have changed exponentially.
Yeah.
And like I say, in a clever movie, that would have been really, really funny.
Well, yeah.
But here it's just a throwaway gag.
Well, in the original, they were buying the building too. They weren't running it.
Right. Well,
Right.
Again, this was 1980.
Yeah, this is
where
true.
a second mortgage against your home actually got you money.
Oh, it was a third mortgage.
Was it a third?
It was a third mortgage.
It was a
yeah.
third.
It was a
Mortgage.
third mortgage, yeah.
I watched the movie.
Yeah, you watched it like right before.
My biggest problem is I watched this movie. I watched the original Ghostbusters quite literally last night, 5 hours before I went and saw
I
the new
said
one.
it before, and I'll say it here again. I think your biggest problem is that you watched the first Ghostbusters, period.
Yeah.
Because I honestly think that
I
this
had
wouldn't be a
seen
good
it
movie.
before, but it was chopped up in
Right.
bits and
This wouldn't
pieces.
be a good movie even if the first Ghostbusters hadn't existed. It's not good writing. It's not good direction. It's just not good. But
It's a
it
little
would've-
all over the place.
It was. It would have stood a lot stronger
I
if
think
the first Ghostbusters
The biggest problem though
weren't
is
there.
in movies today in general is everything because Star Wars 7 did so well, we're getting the sequel or reboot treatment from pretty much everything right now. And a lot of them aren't good. Independence Day was not good.
Well, that was
Like Ghostbusters was not good.
yeah.
Fantastic Four's reboot was not good. We're
Well,
not
you can't blame
getting
that on Star Wars because
it was before.
That was
but
before.
still. We're getting
shitty reboots are not a new thing.
no
Very
but
old
it's-
thing.
They're
I
going to
like shooting
continue.
this like this more than in my back room. I think when we do this, we're going to do this more in here.
Okay, well,
This is nice.
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't like the reboot treatment at all anymore. Like
You're sick
it's-
of reboots. Is what you're saying.
I'm sick of reboots.
You just want something original.
Well, I'm
So less Ghostbusters, 2016, more Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes.
Okay. I think everybody can agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I'm
was
good
the
with that.
one good like. Was that a reboot or just a sequel?
You
Well,
can take
both.
you can take it whichever way you want.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was categorized as. but-
That's been the big problem for a lot of people, which I don't understand. You just enjoy it for the sake of enjoying the movie.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm tired of reboots that don't do it right.
Yeah.
And there's also movies that there's just no point of rebooting them. Like, we had Ghostbusters, and,
Okay,
it's one thing we can always hold on to.
Let me ask you a question then. I see this as a direct comparison to the RoboCop reboot that they did.
Okay.
Would you say this is worse?
I didn't mind the RoboCop reboot.
You didn't mind it.
No, because I saw RoboCop 3.
I saw RoboCop 3 and I was like, well, that movie sucked, but I also watched the RoboCop spin-off series that they had.
I never saw
Yeah,
the
it was
series.
like 4 direct-to-video movies, and they're kind of awful.
Okay, well.
So,
I mean, I watched.
like I said, this is the problem that a lot of people have. They can't divorce the original from the reboot, and they feel that the reboot will overwhelm the original. But from what I see the original shining that much brighter.
Yeah, I mean, it
because
definitely.
it's contrasted against this other crap in the background, and you're like, 20 years from now, I'm going to be able, if I ever have kids, if I'm cursed, to show my children the original Ghostbusters from the 1980s, and they're gonna probably sit there and go, "Wow, this is a freaking awesome movie."
And then you show them the 2016 one.
And then I can show them the 2016 one, and they're like, "Yeah, that just wasn't as good."
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we have older movies from the 80s that are just so good, and they had very limited technology.
Right.
Everybody thinks just because CGI and VFX effects and everything's come to where that it needs a reboot.
Right.
Or they need to redo it.
But that's the problem with like George Lucas and Star Wars prequels.
Yeah.
Bigger doesn't always equal better.
Exactly. And like that's where we're getting, we need, if you're going to reboot the movie, I say they should have basically told the exact same story. They should have
then you get
made
into
the same movie.
Then you get into the
almost.
problem of the Psycho remake, where it was literally a shot-for-shot remake of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho with different cast members, and that's it. And then everybody hates that because I've seen this before with far superior actors
Yeah.
and a far superior director. So why should I watch the exact same thing at a lower quality? Which, even if you shot for shot remade Ghostbusters, you would still have the problem. I don't want to say it's a problem because the characters' deliveries for these things was based a lot on the writing, and I don't think the writing was that strong.
No.
Because I've heard these people be very strong and very good comedians in their own right. Melissa McCarthy withstanding, because I honestly can't stand her.
I've seen a few things of hers.
I like Melissa McCarthy.
Enjoy it.
I don't know. I've heard Spy. She is the least Melissa McCarthy she's ever been,
I haven't seen Spy all the way through.
which makes me want to see that because I cannot stomach her. I'm a big brash woman. Get out of my face.
Didn't you watch Spy?
I watched Spy, but I liked it. But I
That's
like a
what
lot of
everybody
the movies.
says.
I like Tammy, and I also like Identity Thief. I liked all
See,
three of them.
I watched about 5 minutes of those and was like, I would rather stick a gun barrel in my mouth and pull the trigger
I wasn't
until
a
it
big fan of
clicks.
Tammy. I didn't like Tammy that much.
I like Tammy enough to watch it.
Identity Thief was okay, but
I liked
It was
Identity
very
Thief
meh.
more than I liked Tammy, but I liked Spy more than I liked both of them.
and I've never watched like her TV show Mike and Molly. I've never seen it.
Me neither.
So.
Was she on
She is.
Yeah, she's Molly.
She's the
Oh, okay.
she's the wife.
that? Okay. I knew Billy Gardell was in there, and I like him. I like him as a standout. But I didn't know she was in there. I might have to give her a chance.
Yeah, like I said, I've never.
So you got-
She's in Boss too. Isn't
Yeah,
she?
I like the boss. The boss was fun.
She's really good in that.
But that had Peter Dinklage in it, and that
You just want to suck Peter Dinklage off.
no,
He does. He
Dude,
talks about
he
it.
was funny in that
Do
movie.
you have like a picture of him on your phone that whenever
No.
you go into the bathroom, you're like, oh, Pete,
I hate you so much. Such a dickhead.
tinkle me, Pete.
Such an asshole. Alright. Well, we've pretty much gone over pretty much everything about this movie that
Well, you guys have. I've kind of been supporting you. Do I get to?
go
It's-
for
it's
it.
his
Dude,
turn.
It's
all
my
turn.
turn.
I thought like we were already in yours. Didn't go for it.
That's what I was actually about to ask. Is if we just transitioned into mine.
I think we were slowly. Just go for it, man.
Okay. I didn't like a lot of this movie. I thought that the direction was practically non-existent. A lot of the writing seemed very forced. It was based more around making jokes than making a movie and having jokes within it. I think that
I thought some of the characters were pointless.
yes, most of the characters were pointless. Actually, it had a very bland bad guy whose motivations were very ill-defined.
Yeah, it was
I had
like
no
he
idea
was
what he was
he was
doing
bullied
anymore.
his whole life. And I do love the
Yeah.
fact that they were like, so what? We're nerds. We get picked on all the time. You don't see us trying to destroy the world.
Yeah. If I didn't know better, which I hope I know better, and that they didn't do this, that was like reshot and cut into the movie as like part of the backlash against them being women?
Probably.
It probably was,
Yeah, it
which
probably was.
I don't give a shit if you remake Ghostbusters with women.
No.
I don't care if you change absolutely everything. Just give me a good movie
With direction.
with direction. I understand Melissa McCarthy can be very funny. I understand the other three, whose names elude me for the moment. I am very sorry to all the ladies about that. Can be very funny in their own right. I respect anybody's opinion who says that. I personally don't find a lot of their humor very funny. Some of it I like.
I just thought a lot of it was forced down my throat.
A lot of it was very, very forced. Like I say, they didn't have very good direction. Not a lot in the department of actually wanting me to root for these characters. They steal their equipment rather than make it themselves. They are pretty much interchangeable between all of them. I mean, there was not... You talked about the engineer chick.
I like her.
Yeah, she was cool.
Yeah,
she
but
was over the top.
She was
for
too
me.
much. She was...
I mean,
it got to the point where it was cartoonish. Like
Yeah.
they put her there, specifically said, make her hip. And she's got like the necklaces and the weird eyeglasses, and she's constantly making jokes. And it's like, I wouldn't believe you as a scientist.
no.
Yeah.
And she was their tech developer.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
she developed
you
everything.
never see her develop the tech. She's in a lab coat and she'll talk about stuff, but it's like you just read lines off the script. When Harold Ramis talks about the technology he's created, I look at it and go, yeah, I can believe this crackpot made this shit in his basement.
Yeah. Well, also they never
But there
got...
was not a distinction between the three characters. Or the four characters, I should say.
Well, one had her the black lady. She had her own. Like, I liked her character a little bit more than the other three because she wasn't smart. She was street smart. She knew New
Right.
York like the back of her hand.
But where does that ever come in?
The subway, a couple things with the building. Like, she knew the buildings and
Yeah,
like,
but again, that's like not New York. That's a very specific thing. If they had included her looking at it and going, hey, wait a second, this creates a weird little pattern here, then that would have been me going, oh, okay, so she knows how.
But then
things
again, he said she
interact.
wasn't smart. She was just street smart. So
Which,
she
again,
wouldn't have looked
she
into
could-
that to try to do that. She would
Right,
have
but
like,
she could have contributed something. to
well,
that.
when they pointed out the center, she was like, "Oh, well, that kind of makes sense." And then she gave us the history of it.
right,
like
but
they
there's
were
not
massacred.
there's not enough of that. Is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
and some of it they looked up on the internet while
Yeah.
she was talking.
Yeah.
So she really didn't get her big part in. It was like,
I
oh,
really-
it's this building, and then they're like, here it is.
Yeah, and then it's let someone else dump the exposition.
Yeah.
They weren't. I hate to say that they weren't diverse enough.
No.
These, I forget her name. Basically, she is every streetwise, smarmy black woman in a movie ever.
Yeah.
Patty.
Patty, thank you. She's,
She had the necklace. I can't
yeah,
believe
she's
it.
That's what
Patty
I
with a
remember.
necklace. And that's about it. The engineer chick is the hip, smart person who doesn't look like a stuffy old professor, and then you have the other person who's the stuffy old professor type, and then you have
Abby.
The friend.
Melissa McCarthy's character, who is there. I was bullied, but I rose above it. Suck it,
Well,
men.
They were all kind of like very generic too.
That's what I'm saying.
Like the original cast was so diverse.
Well, they came from very strong comedy backgrounds, which is what really surprised me in this. These people also came from very strong comedy backgrounds, but each of them knew how their character should develop.
Yeah,
And
like
each of
the
them-
actors went very different ways in the original with their characters because
Right.
you knew who was there to do what.
Right,
And
here it
then-
was basically interchangeable. I didn't really know what Melissa McCarthy's character did.
Yeah.
She was supposedly
She was the one that
helping.
believed.
Yeah, she was the believer, but then it becomes...
She was supposed to be helping the tech girl, but she was doing more of the work than the tech girl was.
Yeah,
I
so
think
it-
she was
like
it
they
becomes
were
this weird
interchangeable.
portion to where it's like, you could have put virtually anybody in this versus you have people like Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis and Ernie Hudson, who each brought something unique to the character and did it a very specific way and made them very unique and believable characters.
I
Like this-
can tell who was supposed to be who,
Right.
with them, but
No, I can
there
tell
were
what they were
nothing
doing.
like.
I
the-
just feel
Right.
like the way you said all the characters were interchangeable, I don't feel that's true.
Well, that
I
was
feel
just
like
my
maybe
feeling
two
that
of
I got.
them maybe have been interchangeable, but they all had what they were supposed to do, and you could say, okay, I could see that.
Right, but that was never defined well enough
They all,
for them to actually develop as a character.
I mean,
the two of them did.
She's
trying to talk.
Shut up, Jared.
I mean, and I'm not trying to interrupt anybody, but
No, it's
I
fine.
think the reason why this movie was as bad as it was because it didn't focus so much on the individual characters, even though it was
that's another
about
very
them.
good part.
It focused more about, hey, let's make them laugh, let's do this,
Right.
let's do that, let's put a lot of comedy in here.
Right. Well, that
Because
was
I do agree
that
with
was
you
what I
on
was
that
saying.
on that point that you made about
Yeah.
the
they
chick
wrote
that
the
I said
jokes
was
and then they
cool.
wrote the movie for the jokes.
I mean, the only part that I liked her in was at the end of it when she did that. I thought that was cool. Like whenever
When she pulled the
pulled
two
out the
guns
two
out and
guns.
blew all the guns
That's the
away.
Yeah.
only thing that I really liked.
That's my
when
next
she
biggest
did.
problem with this. Is this movie
But-
should have been called Ghostbusters. It should have been called Ghost Fighters
Yeah.
because they bust a grand total of one ghost
And they let it go.
I didn't
and
like.
they end up letting it go, and then they punch and shoot the rest down.
I didn't like how like the whole thing was a cover up too. Because the original Ghostbusters, they were like, yes, the ghosts are real. These guys are stopping the ghosts.
Right.
Like people were calling them kooks and stuff. But this was like some.
But that's where you have your stuff, your main goal for
Yeah.
with the characters is the public believes them, and there's all these experts who are like, oh, they're frauds, and then everybody else is standing up for them going, no, these guys are good at what
See,
they do.
and that
But-
we didn't get that in this. We
Exactly.
got a
Everybody
big
was
cover
doubting
up.
him. Everybody was doubting him because the mayor and that chick was like, "Yeah, I know you're doing
We're
it,
fake
but we're
arresting
doing
you, and
this,
thanks so much, Bill. We're fake arresting you now.
and we're towing
Yeah,
your
that didn't
vehicle."
make any goddamn sense.
And yeah,
Thank you for saving the city, but yeah, we have to arrest you and throw you in the back of
Also,
squad car
like,
for Homeland Security.
the lack of ghost busting, like you said,
Right.
because the original, like it,
They even had a
it did
containment.
like it was like a 5-minute scene where it just showed them developing into it, and then they
containment.
added like
Right.
containing and adding,
Well, that's where I think.
and this one was like just a vortex of ghosts from nowhere,
Yeah.
and like they're killing them, they're shooting like they didn't kill the ghosts.
Well, that's what
in
I'm
the
saying.
first
This wasn't
movie.
Ghostbusters. This was Ghost Fighters.
Yeah. They blew up the marshmallow guy in the first one. That's the only one they really killed.
Yeah.
Was the marshmallow guy.
And I don't understand how he was like. They were trying to make him like the new marshmallow guy because even when they shot him, you could see parts of him like burning
burned
like
up,
the
which
marshmallow.
didn't make any kind of sense. Why he would have a physical presence now?
Exactly.
Because he
But
took on like a ghostish form of a burlap sack.
he made a cartoon version of himself, then somehow
Yeah,
turned
he
that
turned
cartoon
himself into
version
the logo, and then like he possessed Chris. Well, I was talking about like the actual like stuffed marshmallow guy.
Well, that's
No,
what I'm
no,
saying.
yeah, I
he was
know.
trying
But
to
then-
be that.
Well, yeah. Then we get the main villain or whatever who had possessed Chris Hemsworth, who turned himself into the Ghostbusters logo, and then he turned himself into Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, that's essentially what he did, and made himself huge. No, like I say, this movie has a ton of problems, and I don't think nothing short of basically full rewrites and essentially a better story could have saved this.
I also don't understand how
Well, it's like you
magically
said.
the building put itself back together
Yeah.
after it had been destroyed.
Yeah, no, that didn't make a whole lot of sense.
And
One
they-
thing that would have definitely made it better is minimized the references they throw in,
Mhm.
because after the scene where they get to the firehouse, it just feels like, oh, we're just going to throw this in to say, oh yeah, there's
Seems
another
like they're
Ghostbusters
trying to
movie.
jam everything into this movie very close together with the cameos.
Yeah, and it felt like they did it mostly to appease people.
Make people happy.
Right, but at the same
But
time,
what
it's like,
was
oh
the-
yeah, that stuff. Nah, that's stupid. We're the real deal. Like when they have
The cab driver, I don't remember what the
Dan
guy.
Aykroyd. It was Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, he was like,
No.
well, this is, you're like,
Yeah, it's your standard class 5 apparition. Nothing to worry about.
like,
And it's like that would have been clever if we had any reason
If
for
he
him
was-
to know
Oh,
what a
and
class
then-
5 apparition
And then
was.
he said, I ain't scared of no ghosts.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, that would have been
if
funny.
you were your original character.
Exactly,
Yes.
which brings me back to my point. If they had continued this and Ghostbusters had pretty much just fallen apart because nothing else happened with it and they couldn't support the business and they all kind of went their separate ways, that would have been funny.
And then,
Exactly.
like, you have them maybe come back and help out or something like that.
Right. Well, no, you don't even have to do that. You could have had everything be the exact same way it was, but just have this be this little thing that happened and then let the movie happen on its own.
Yeah.
Don't have the theme be played in front of some hokey ghost stoppers TV show, and they're like, "These guys are frauds." While the Ghostbusters theme is playing, and it's like, that's not
cool.
No, it's not cool.
And then I don't like the fact that Bill Murray was just pretty much the big unbeliever.
Yeah, he was the Walter Peck for this movie, and he
That
lasts
makes
every
sense.
bit of like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I
I think.
Yeah, for those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, all the surviving members of the Ghostbusters, which I have a bunch of pick with you in just a moment,
Okay.
they make appearances. Bill Murray shows up as a huge skeptic who demands proof, gets his proof, but subsequently gets thrown out a window for it, which they replace that window in like record time for the next scene.
And
And
then
then
break it
destroy
out
it
again.
again.
Yeah, which is like, well, pointless to have that happen again.
Yep.
Dan Aykroyd shows up as a cab driver in the middle of the ghost apocalypse, which, again, going back to our previous comments, could have been very clever if they had done something different. And then finally, I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe Ernie Hudson got away with it. He
He's-
didn't have to be in here.
He's
And then at the
uncle.
very
He's
end,
Patty's uncle.
he's Patty's uncle, and I'm
Who
like,
owns a
oh,
funeral.
Ernie.
Well,
And
we
then the
also got
secretary.
the receptionist was there
Yeah, you had the receptionist. You
at
had
the hotel,
which
and-
was another thing. He's just like, oh, she's here because of the original.
and then
And
Sigourney
then Sigourney
Weaver
Weaver
shows
at the
up
very end.
in the credits.
Yeah, again, because of the original, they have no purpose to be there
Yeah.
other than just to say, "Hey,
We put him
we
in there.
know what's up."
Yeah, pretty much.
No, you made the comment in the theater, and it's like, I wonder where the other one is. I've seen 3 out of the 4, and I'm like, Jared, you know Harold Ramis died.
I did not know.
You honestly didn't remember Harold Ramis died?
Oh my god.
Oh my
I'm
word!
sorry.
No, that's what this movie needed. It needed somebody who really knew how to write a good story. Harold Ramis. Harold Ramis wrote Ghostbusters. Dan Aykroyd can take as much credit as he wants for it. Harold Ramis wrote that story well enough.
Well, the
He
original.
tweaked it and made it good because he is a smart writer. He was a smart comedian. He had very dry wit, and that is what set it apart from everything else. Was that they took themselves seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie does not take itself seriously.
No,
It
not at
openly admits it's a big gag, and if you want to do that, that's fine. Just Airplane openly admits itself as a huge gag.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to know what you want to be.
Yeah.
And this felt like it wanted to be a new movie. It wanted to be a remake of the old one. It wanted to be a comedy. It wanted to be action. It wanted to make fun of the old stuff. And it just kind
It
of...
was trying to do too much.
It tried to do too much. And like we said, there's potential for what was here.
Yeah.
But it would have required a lot of rewriting. It would have required a better director. I'm sorry, Paul Feig, I hate you. It would have required better writing. I'm sorry, Dan Aykroyd. Stop writing. You know what? I'm not sorry about that one. Just stop writing, Dan Aykroyd. Just sell Crystal Skull vodka and talk about aliens not visiting us because of 9/11.
What?
Okay,
Oh,
so
if you've never seen that, look that shit up.
okay, so let's kind of just final thoughts.
Yeah, final
You know,
thoughts.
with you, let's put it like this: buy, rent, or borrow, or don't watch.
I would. I don't want to say don't watch, because again, there's potential here. It's just squandered potential, and that makes me angry, so I'd probably borrow it off somebody that, you know.
Yeah, I'd say Netflix, borrow it, catch it when it comes out on TV.
Yeah.
Same here. Borrow it from somebody.
Yeah.
Do not spend
Definitely
money
wanna
on it.
Borrow it or rent it. Don't buy it when you see it. Like,
Yeah.
trust me.
I think about wraps it up for this one. So
Yeah, there's not a whole lot left to say. It
Yep.
just wasn't that good. Sorry we didn't get too much into the story, but
There wasn't really much of a story.
No, there really
The
wasn't.
story is what you heard already.
It's
Pretty much.
forced jokes, and there was a good story beneath it, but it was covered in jokes.
I was honestly very impressed. It took us, let's see, the movie started about 1:10 after all the previews and stuff were done. It took us about 10 minutes into that, 10 to 15 minutes to get our first fart joke in, which I was like, well, that took longer than I thought. And from there, it was just really stupid comedy. And then at the very end of the movie, I thought we were going to get out of it without a cheap crotch shot. And then it's like, oh, they shoot him in the nuts. They shoot the big bad guy straight in the balls. And it's like, well,
And
I
then
thought
they
we were going to
comment
get out of
about it.
Yeah, and then they comment about it. There's way too much explaining of the joke.
And
Scenes
then
go
they-
on for way too long. It's like you should have cut this about halfway through. Just,
Quit
And it
trying.
feels
to
Oh,
like
do
we
it.
skipped scenes.
it feels like there was a
I
lot of
remember you
scenes.
said, "Did we skip an act?"
Yeah, no, it gets to the point where
You don't know
I
when
was
one-
sitting there, I'm like, they bring him to the mayor's office, and I'm like, did we
We
miss
skipped
something?
something.
But
Something happened, and we didn't see it. Bill Murray died, and then people show up, and the mayor's like, thank you for doing this, but we're not going to acknowledge you doing it. And I'm like,
He tells them to stop.
No, he tells them, we're going to publicly tell you to stop, but we want you to continue. And then it's like, what?
Yep.
That doesn't make sense.
We missed something.
There were a lot of scenes, like in between scenes, that you didn't know. Okay, was that the end of the scene? Did I blink and miss something?
Yeah, there was.
And then there's another
lot,
scene, well, like the scene between the college to looking for a building.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up, guys. So
Yeah, I think that's about all we
Yeah,
got.
that's it.
we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.